In today's video, I am going to be breaking down how many different moves that you need as a player. Now, this is a heavily sought after video because I get tons of questions about the same subject over and over again. So I thought I'd make a video about it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so how many moves do we really need to know and have? Well, I'm going to say unlimited. I'm going to say know as many as you can. Now, there's actually a reason behind this. Sure, we can have our 2 or 3 go-to moves, and we can have our go-to moves that then spawn off different moves depending on what the defender is doing. However, we should really know a ton of different moves. We're going to start in the low post as an example because I like the low post the best, even though I'm only 6'2". So when you're in the low post and you get that ball, what's the first thing that you need to know? Where's my defender? Is he going to be guarding me on this side and giving me baseline? Is he going to be guarding me baseline and giving me the middle of the key? Or is he going to be just basically straight up right behind me, trying to push me out of the key because he doesn't want me there? What is going to be the answer to that? Well, we're going to need a couple of different moves. And of course, we can use the same move on either side. We can get this ball, we can do a quick jump stop in the middle of the key, do a small baby hook. We can actually do the exact same thing towards the baseline and go up with our left hand. However, there are so many different opportunities for each of these moves that spin off multiple other moves. So for example, if we were just limited to knowing jump stop and baby hook, well, guess what? There's going to be players who will notice that, hey, you only do that. Well, I'm just going to start guarding you baseline. See if you can do it to the middle. If you can do it to the middle, well, guess what? Now I'm going to be basically guarding you on your back. And as soon as you take that dribble towards that one side, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get in position. I'm going to block that shot. Now, what can you do now? Well, that one move can spawn off multiple other moves. So now when you go here, you can go up. If he jumps, you can step through. Because remember, when we land after a dribble, when we land on both feet, we can use either foot as a pivot foot. So we can step through and go for our layup. You're allowed to pick up your pivot foot if you go for a shot or a pass. Now, how I like to explain it to kids these days, because kids these days are starting to have coding class in school, and this is essentially coding language, which is if this, then that. It's a type of coding style. I'm a nerd. But anyways, so when it comes down to it, if this, then that. If this happens with your defender, you do that. Same thing as coding, same thing as when you're playing in basketball. It's also called read and react. That's the actual sports term to the same thing. Now, obviously, there's a 500,000 different moves that you can do in the low post. I'm not going to go over all of them today. However, now we're going to start talking about guards or big men who want to play guard. Again, you can have 1 or 2 go-to moves, but you want to know a lot of different moves because you don't know the situations that you're going to be put in. For example, you can have a situation where you can be like me and you can be a shorter player when it comes to basketball. I'm 6'2", but my playing weight was about 70 pounds lighter than I am right now. And basically, I used my strength and my size to my advantage against smaller defenders. And how I would do that is when I get that ball or when I'm dribbling that ball up the court, I want to do quick 1 dribble crossovers, maybe just a simple cross and then attack that rim, and then use my body to body that player so that I can get to the rim and basically not have to worry about going all fancy. Meanwhile, if I've got a taller defender on me who is about the same speed as me, but I'm not stronger than him, so I can't just overpower him to the rim. I can't play bully ball. What am I going to do? Well, what I'm going to do, same thing, except I'm going to do a snatch back, maybe take 1 dribble towards that left side, take a step back. Now, essentially, same move, except now I've created that distance and I can take that shot. And even if you're a 5'11" guy or a 6'2" guy, you still need to know low post skills because you never know what situation you're going to be put in. Look at Jalen Rose as an example when he played for the Raptors. When he played for the Raptors, yes, he was a small forward. Yes, he played the perimeter. He was a fantastic slasher. But when he had a mismatch on the defensive side. If a defender was smaller than him, he would start posting them up from the 3-point line, and he would have different moves for different sets of players. So what I'm basically trying to get to is, don't limit yourself on how many moves that you know. Try to know every single one that you can figure out and how to do. However, at the same time, also have contingencies, but you can't always do a quick crossover and back and then do a step back like Luka Doncic. You can't use the same move over and over again, because what's going to happen? You're going to have different defenders. The coach is going to throw different defenders on you. The defender's going to figure out what you're doing. They're going to adapt. Basically saying is, you need to know so many different moves. Also, the fact that if you're a guard, for example, you're going to be getting that inbounds pass. You may turn around and you'll see a 2-2-1 or a diamond or whatever full court press, and it's a totally different set of moves from back here than it is on the offensive side of the court. So that's my take on how many basketball moves that you should know in the game. Now, when it comes down to it, know every position, know every single move that you can. Work on shooting, number 1, ball handling, number 2. Defense is also tied with number 2, but it's more on the fitness, foot speed side. Anyways, I hope that you've also enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe. Go check out all of the equipment that I use down in the description below, and I'll see you guys again next time.